What's up, guys? Welcome back, man. Duntown Show, episode 14. We're going to kick it off with some shop talk, kind of get you caught up on where we are, guys. Another week has gone by here, Let's see, we've got a lot of CNC work picking up. I've been advertising a little bit more, and we're starting to pick up a lot of the flat work stuff for some off-road brackets and some classic car suspension brackets. A lot of guys want to start making their own. So my buddies that work on their own cars and off-road trucks and stuff have been actually reaching out to make them some certain brackets that they can kind of brand as their own kit. So that's fucking cool right there. I get to kind of be their little manufacturer for that stuff and work out a good deal and hang out right here in the shop and cut steel. It's pretty low. Labor. You know what I'm saying? You're going to load the steel up on there, and then I'm just punching keys on the laptop, and that's it, dude. It starts going. All kinds of different designs and cool stuff, man. I'd go check it out on my Instagram, Outcast Services LLC, and you'll get to see a lot of the stuff we're working on, and I'm going to be posting a ton of videos on that coming up. Had to pull the front clip back off the Blazer, realign the body perfectly for the body mounts because we had set the body on there, but I had left the bolts out of the body mounts because we basically weren't sure if we were going to have to lift the body back up at all to get to the transmission or to, add linkage and stuff for the shifters, but we shouldn't have to. So we got it all lined up. We'll get a couple bolts started, hold everything in place, and then got the front clip put back on. And it looks bitchin', dude. It looks really good. It sure puts like a complete look to the truck. I put the 37-inch tires on it with the front clip. All it needs is the hood, so all the door jambs and everything lined up really nice. I was able to shim them and get them pretty close back to where they need to be. Then it's going to go to a body shop anyway, so it'll you know what I mean? It's going to get straightened out, get fixed up, dude. Moving on from that. We're working with DMC Off-Road. I posted some stuff the other day, a couple trucks down there. We hung some shocks. We hung some shock reservoirs, added some fluid to the differential and transfer case on a rig. And I helped them bid a job for a full roll cage on a big monster truck. It's a square body, but it's got a 572 big block and stuff. I talked about it in a previous episode. But man, this thing's a fucking beast, dude. Big old 44-inch super swampers and the whole bit. So we got some stuff done on that, kind of got the ball rolling with them. I am going back down there later today after I get done with this episode, get some editing done, get this pod out for you guys, get the show rolling. So let's keep moving along. I had a plumbing nightmare the other day. It was supposed to be a quick fix, dude. I went out there. Their sink had backed up in a small restroom at the liquor store. So I'm like, all right, I had snaked that drain before, but I knew that like the parts underneath the sink were getting really old. Well, I hadn't been there from probably 2 years. So the inside of the pipe had almost corroded closed. Like literally it was so rusted, it had corroded closed. So I've been chipping that stuff out and trying to snake it. And somewhere down the line, there's a clog and I had to cut the steel pipe off because it was all corroded, and as soon as I went to twist the 90 that was on there, it just crumbled and snapped off. So I replaced all that with like rubber fittings and everything. None of it was sealing up properly, just because everything we were trying to adapt to was just so old and corroded. It was going to turn into having to open up the wall. So I recommended they called a plumber that has like a power jet and a power snake that can get in there and really, really push some material. Because my little twisty snake thing, dude, I'm sitting there spinning that thing. It's starting to spark and shit. So we got that as far as we could get it put back together. Got the water to stop leaking, did what we could. And we had to pretty much abandon ship on that. So, dude, it started backflowing, and I thought, I'm just going to unhook this hose or the 90 so I can put it right into this bucket. As soon as I pulled it, water shot out. Dude, I thought I was at the Bellagio. There was water flying out of that thing like crazy. The guy running the liquor store was like, oh, fuck, what? Everything okay, bro? And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're good, man. And he went back to the front, and I'm fucking trying to get it cleaned up, and it was a good time. So then we came home and continued working because we're building this air conditioning bracket. And it's going to support almost a 300-pound unit, and it's going to catch 4 studs inside the wall. They're upright 2x. And it's going to have a flat steel top. It looks just like a big steel shelf, basically. And that'll keep the air conditioner up off of the ground so they can pour concrete later and wash around it without it always having moisture, water around the base of the unit and possibly rotting it out. But this bracket I built, dude, it's so heavy, bro. Like, it's a 2-man job, and I'm trying to hang this thing up on the hook so I can get it painted, and one of the hooks came undone and gave out, and the whole weight of the thing yeah, it was pretty good, dude. OSHA would have been proud. But it's in paint right now. I got to shoot it with the coat of black. Primer's ready. It's dry. Shoot it with some black this afternoon, and then wait for the install, and we'll go install it. Moving on from the shop top, guys. I'm keeping or sweeping this week, and you know what? I'm sweeping tornado country. These houses literally, dude, just grenade. All right? You'll be out playing with Fido in the backyard. A couple of little clouds form, and then bam! Your whole house is up. I mean, I don't get it, dude. They're making these houses out of nothing. I could have swore I talked about this before because it blows my mind. I just seen another whole clip of this perfectly sunny, flat valley area. I don't know, like out in Kansas or something. And this fucking tornado just goes boop right out of the sky, and you just see the whole neighborhood just gone. And then boom, back to perfectly sunny. Give me earthquakes. I'll take earthquakes all day long. Fuck that. I don't care. Give me an earthquake over a fucking tornado. Because that means every time it starts getting cloudy out, you got to kind of wonder, like, okay, what kind of cloud is that? No, dude. Hell no. So we're sweeping tornado country. If you live out there, dude, start digging. You need a basement. If you're moving out into that area and you didn't even consider it, all right, make sure you're not getting scammed into like the 3rd-story apartment in like some old building somewhere, because you're going to be the first one to catch air and go flying on your Tempur-Pedic. Moving along, guys, cool places to visit is up in Vegas, downtown, Fremont Street. You go up in there, right? They got the Binion Steakhouse. And we went up in there one night to celebrate a birthday and had a fucking phenomenal dinner. The huge, massive, 3-inch thick cut prime rib, any way you want it done. We were sharing, so we just ordered like a few main entrees, you know, and then cut them up and split them, and like everybody was just grubbing, dude, okay? Drinking old-fashioned. I love to get an old-fashioned right when I get into a place like that, and then like, you know, a couple appetizers land, and that old-fashioned just hits, dude, especially if you had nothing all day, no pre-beer, you're not out pre-partying before, none of that. You just sit there, you land, boom, dude, and you get that first old-fashioned hits so well. And then I like to go from there. I'll actually end the whole steak dinner, the whole thing, with the espresso martini, or like a double shot of espresso. Ooh-wee, that'll get you wound up, you know, because you just ate kind of like a heavy protein meal. Maybe you had some potatoes or whatever with it, maybe a little seafood. So like you hopefully didn't stuff yourself, but like you still want to kind of like have an evening. Go with the espresso martini or the double shot espresso at a good steakhouse, dude. Man, you'll be back up and running. I'm not kidding you. It'll don't drink and drive, dude. Do not drink and drive, okay? What's going on here? Okay, first of all, I know today's opening day. Okay, opening day, MLB. Dodgers play the Cardinals at 4. The Angels are about to play the Orioles right now. It's about to kick off, guys, as we film this. So, happy opening day. There's your MLB. We'll be following those two teams. We'll start our MLB tracker, all right? And we'll be following the Dodgers and the Angels throughout their season, just touching on them and seeing how they're doing and how they're playing or not. But what's up with Ohtani? Apparently he's going to play today, and apparently they are standing behind him 100%. That Irie Missouri, he's been fired. He's gone, you know. And right now I think the rest of the probing on the investigation is just going to make sure that, hey, just because he is who he is, he doesn't get a pass. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He's potentially one of the greatest baseball players ever, but doesn't mean you get to just run rampant and do whatever you want because you've got like a language barrier where you can say, I didn't know. I didn't know. No, you read the contracts. You know what you're doing, dude. So if you had anything to do with it, I don't think you'd be as kicked back and just still going as hard as you are. Because apparently the trainer on ESPN was saying, no, dude, he comes in, he works hard every day. He's not letting this stuff bother him. He's doing what he needs to do. So I'm sure he'll get a slap on the wrist or it'll be an eye-opener. But then you got this Jonte Porter. Did you guys see that? The player from the Raptors, dude, who pretty much burned his own player props for 2 games. They're investigating to see whether he sandbagged in 2 games, which allowed all of his unders to hit, because it was a very suspicious the way those unders were bet in the sports book on that particular day on those 2 games. So they're saying that in the one game, even though he was open for 3-pointers, never shot them. And then when he timed out, he only played like 4 or 5 minutes. When he sat back down, he claimed that his eye was still sore from a previous game and needed to go to the locker room so that he wouldn't be forced to play anymore. So all of his unders hit in that game. You could say, okay, well, that's possible. That happens. But coincidentally, a few weeks later, the same action happens again, but then he comes out of the game at about 8 minutes claiming that he's sick and doesn't feel good, and I need to go to the back, I need to talk to the trainer. All his unders hit again, setting one of the largest 3-point attempts was at 0.5, so all he had to do was attempt 1 3-pointer and it would have went over. So literally nobody was going to bet the under, because every time this dude gets the ball, if he's back there, he'll typically try to shoot. He had 2 chances at it and didn't shoot it, dude. So they're thinking, wait a minute. So they're literally investigating into whether he's, guilty or not, or had anything to do with this, or if it was just result of maybe a conversation he had with a buddy or somebody. Who knows? We don't know. But the fact that you left both games after minimal play and just enough to say, all right, he got 2 rebounds, he got, an assist, scored like 3 points, or not even. He scored like 4 points because he wouldn't have shot a 3-pointer, so he either made 2 or 4 points. And you know what I mean? And those bets all hit. Like, it's bizarre, dude. It's a bizarre situation. So we're going to see what ends up cranking out with that guy and the whole scandal thing. It trips me out because you're hearing more and more and more about like how this gambling is like kind of getting into the mix. I think it's just so readily available. It's so easy to gamble in most of these states or find a bookie. Like even here in California, if you really wanted a bookie, you could do it. Just ask Otani. He did it. Hello. That they get bored and they got the money and it's like, hey, dude, whoop-de-whoop. Not necessarily that they're cooking the books or purposely winning or losing or whatever the case is, but just that it has like an influence kind of on that scene in a way. I feel like the gambling thing kind of holds a certain like, it adds like a dynamic that now really makes you wonder, because just sit here and think real quick. We'll touch on it. If I'm an NBA player, all right, and I'm just whatever. Maybe I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm a starter, okay? And you just get this wild idea where, you know what, I'm getting later on in my years or whatever it is. I'm over this shit, or maybe I'm not making the money I want to make right now. I'm new in the league, so there's no eyes on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, bro, get a hold of somebody that I, trust but don't like associate with on social media and through a lot of, kind of on the low key, and tell them, look, go on the next game and put under my 1.5 3-pointers. All right, just take the under on my 1.5 3-pointers. I'm telling you, I'm not feeling all that great tonight. I don't even know if I'm going to play much more than after I get out there. So I'll play, so that at least I played, because then otherwise you just get the DNP. And dude, this guy puts down like 10 G's on fucking under 1.5 threes. I don't shoot any. Maybe attempt 1 and then come out of the game and be like, man, I'm not feeling it, whatever, man. I don't know. I'm just like getting like dizzy and headache all of a sudden, coach. I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh, yeah, dude, jam to the back. You're good, because you don't have a history of doing anything like this or whatever. But in that one game, the odds were so high because you've been sinking threes the last 12, 15 games, dude. You've been up there to where there's, you're at 1.5 or 2.5's the line, and boom, you don't shoot any, or maybe you just shoot the 1. So everybody's like, nah, this dude's going to sink at least two. So then the guys that take the under, especially your buddy you told about, dude, he cashes out fucking huge, bro. Like, you're literally controlling. The only ones that can control the books are the actual players themselves. And if you sit here and think that none of them are in on any type of a fucking scheme or scam or loop, they're just waiting to see what their personal lines come out, some of these dudes. I guarantee it, bro. Speaking of NBA news, guys, when we left off last, we were going to play the Hawks. The Lakers were headed to play the Hawks, and we won that game, okay? We beat the Hawks 136-105, and then we went ahead, including that game, went on a 5-game winning streak, all right? We beat Philly 101-94. Then we had a shootout with the Indiana Pacers, 150-145, and then that game against Milwaukee was absolutely badass. What a fucking double overtime finish for the Lakers. Excellent. The best defense I've seen us play all year, hands down. Great defense, great energy, great team play. LeBron didn't play, but AD stepped up and he had the torch in his hands like this, dude. Like, I got you, Unc. You know, let's get it. And they did. They balled out. D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, they had a really, really good game. D'Angelo Russell was perfect from the free throw line. And then AD hits those last two to seal the deal. Fuck yeah, dude. So that was a good win over the Bucks. And then we went ahead and played the Grizzly, and 124-136 LA wins it. 5 straight wins. Let's fucking go, dude. We're still in 9th place, so imagine if we would have lost any of those. Could have really hindered us. The next game is March 29th versus the Pacers, so we're going to play them again. The last time, like I said, it was a shootout. It was 145-150. Right now, number 1 in the East is Boston. All right. We got 9 games to go, guys. Boston's number 1. Milwaukee Bucks is 2. New York Knicks is 3. We got the Cleveland Cavs sitting at 4. Magic 5 and Pacers at 6. They're the cutoff. And then you got the Heat, the 76ers, Bulls, and the Hawks following right behind down to 10. In the Western, we got Denver Nuggets, which I hate that team. I'll be honest with you. They're like, for some reason, they're like becoming our arch nemesis or some shit. Them and Sack. So you got Denver Nuggets. They have 51 wins, guys. We sit at 9th with 41 wins. Okay, so we're quite a ways away. But Dallas Mavs sit at 6, and that's the cutoff. And they only have 43, so we're only 2 games back of 6, all right? In second, you got Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder 3, Clippers 4, Pelicans at 5. Dallas at 6, Suns 7, Sacramento Kings 8, Lakers are at 9, and see, if we could have beat Sacramento Kings, we'd be above them right now. But they swept us this year, and Golden State sits at 10 with 38 wins, so they're down a little bit. But we're only 2 games back of 6, so let's see if we can keep this momentum up. We'll see what happens when we play the Pacers here coming up next, guys. And stay tuned for that if you're following the NBA. If you listen to the show, you're following the NBA because I talk about it on every show here. We know that. Come on, guys. Keep the rhythm here. You know what we're working on today. Are you out there? Are you listening, dude? Opening day. Don't get distracted, okay? The Angels are kicking off, bro. NFL news. We are going to talk a little bit about it right now, guys. We got the draft coming up. All right. So NFL draft. It's going to be a big deal this year. There's a lot of talkings about it. A lot of these shows are basing a lot of time and energy on it. You know, you got all like the Mel Kipers and the pre-draft kings that think they know, they already got it all figured out and they know exactly where everybody's going to go, and Sylvia Brown and, you know, that whole scenario. But I mean, we'll see. Chicago doesn't take Caleb Williams in round 1. I think it moves the whole draft, the whole entire draft thing plays out differently, because if they don't, who are they going to take? Right? It has to be a quarterback. It should be Caleb Williams. Okay, but again, we don't know, and that's what's so funny is sometimes this shit is just so flat out obvious, but it's not. You know what I mean? And then the day of, and you're like, they took who? I was like, what the fuck? Like when Justin Fields went over to Pittsburgh, I was like, wait, what? How the fuck does Pittsburgh now have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? Like that's the weirdest combination of 2 dudes that I don't even think knew each other. You know what I mean? Did they ever even play against each other? Wild, bro. Round 1 of the draft, guys, is going to be Thursday, April 26th. Rounds 2 through 3 are going to be Friday, April 27th, and 4 through 7 rounds is Saturday, April 28th. Now, so a lot of good players are going to get drafted, you know, Mr. Irrelevant, you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, you're going to get the cream off the top. They'll go first. Sometimes those guys don't pan out to be shit, and you get other guys in, like, the 7th round. Like, wasn't Shannon Sharp drafted in the 7th round? Look at that motherfucking Hall of Faming ass. Go Unk. The draft was in New York from 1965 to 2015, and now they travel to different cities every year. So this year, it's the 2024 draft will be in Detroit, and it's at the Campus Martius Park Hart Plaza. Woo! Be ready. That's going to be awesome, dude. That'll be a fun show to watch. I'm very excited for NFL. It's like 100 some days out. It's getting close. USFL does kick off this weekend. Is anybody going to watch any of that USFL? Are those just like really, really, really good college players that just aren't quite NFL skill? But they built this whole league around these guys. It's kind of cool. I mean, they're making some money, but I trip out because like you go to watch one of these games and there's like nobody in the crowd on some of them. There's like almost no audience. So I'm hoping with them combining the two leagues, the XFL and the USFL to make UFL, right? With The Rock, you know, Dwayne Johnson being involved, maybe it'll be something cool, dude. Maybe we'll take a look at it. I hear a lot of fighters are pissed off about The Rock's shoe, dude. Supposedly it's too stiff, you know? Maybe the sole's really made out of like a bullhorn, dude. Huh? Because apparently he wrestles bulls like in the morning, right before coffee. It's a trip. Anyway, Dwayne Johnson, so keep an eye on him. Speaking of that league, though, we're actually going to take on a new kicking routine in the NFL coming up. So look it up online. It's a crazy layout. Basically, you'll have your kicker still on the 35-yard line. He'll be kicking off like he would. You'll have the receiving team will have 2 guys in the backfield that can catch, right? But then the receiving team, remaining guys on the field are going to be staggered between the 30 and 35-yard line. And then the kicking team's going to be all the way on the receiving team's 40, lined up basically shoulder to shoulder but spread out. Nobody will move until the football's kicked. Once the football's kicked, no one will move until the receiver catches it. As soon as he catches it, boom, everybody will go. So that means now if he catches it, say, on the 10-yard line, you're on the 40, you only got to haul ass 30 yards, and if you miss one tackle or two, you could be through. And the whole point was to cut down. They want to cut down on the high-speed collision of, you know, the kick return. You know, as soon as he kicks it, everybody's running, hauling ass. You got the blindside hits. There's been a lot of concussions, a lot of guys that get hurt. And then they're trying to revamp a play that pretty much turns into like a no run back anyways. 99% of the time they're kicking it into the end zone, or the guy's catching it and kneeling it, or they're fair catching it. So in this, well, you think, well, won't a lot of that still happen too? Yeah, they can still kick it out, but dude, they're going to eliminate the fair catch. So you got no more fair catch, no movement till the receiver catches the ball, and no more onside kicks, okay? No more onside kicks. That's wild, dude. We could easily contribute an onside kick in the Super Bowl when we beat the Colts as the reason why we won. You know what I mean? To come back out and start the second half with an onside kick, dude. Are you serious? And it worked. So no more doing that. And sorry, Koo. You know, Koo's the king of the onside kick down in Atlanta. You're done. So it's going to be funny, though, because the kicker will be like the last guy. Like, he'll kick off. So, like, let's say they do break through. It's going to be like the kicker versus this Tyreek Hill ass dude that's coming at you at literally 35 miles an hour. What are you going to do, dude? He's going to go, gone. So, imagine going from like 2 to 3 run backs in a season to like 10 or 15 run backs. That's literally going to alter the outcome of a lot of games. So, it's a 4-point game. There's only a minute left. Kansas City's, up by 4 points, but they got to kick it off now to, say, Minnesota or whoever. Boom, they run it back. Bam, they just scored a touchdown that easily. You're literally giving an opportunity for the game to go down to the wire. And take away like the kneel down with 2 minutes and stuff, because you're going to have such an opportunity to score again. The other thing they're getting rid of is the drop hip tackle. So you can no longer do where you go and you just throw your legs out from under you and use your body weight to bring an offensive player down, because it was collapsing their bodies in such a way that it was causing too many injuries. It was tearing up their calves, their knees, their ankles. I mean, the amount of injuries that were sustained from that type of tackle on really, really good key players, they were just like, let's just do away with it. So start training it at a young age. We're implementing it into the NFL starting this year. So if your kids are in Pop Warner, dude, you better stop with the drop tackle and start practicing this new kick, because supposedly it's going to go for a year and see how people like it. And then, bounce back if it doesn't work out or whatever. They fucked with the kickoff so many different times. If you look back, way back in the day, dude, it's changed a bunch of times. What the fucking crazy thing is the damn special teams coordinator for New Orleans Saints is like the head dude that came up with this whole idea. So once again, what are the Saints? We're in the news for some fucking bullshit, okay? But hopefully it turns out to be a good thing. It's just weird that we win a Super Bowl with the onside kick, and then our guy years and years later is the one implementing this that takes away the onside kick. Like, I don't know. It's a touchy subject if you ask me. But you guys want to jump over into a little bit of golf news? There's not a whole lot going right now in the golf world. No, I'm playing. There's a lot going on. We're building our way up to the Masters. We've only got a few events to go. Peter Malnati wins the Valspar. Right? That was his first win since 2015. So, he wanted to make sure he got another win within a decade. You don't really want to go 10 years without a win, because then you kind of fall off. So now he's going to be super relevant again. Like whatever happened to Jordan Spieth? Is he still out there? I swear I've watched a lot of golf this year. I haven't seen that motherfucker at all, dude. Nothing. Not even like, is he even on the commercials anymore? What happened to that guy, bro? Somebody look it up and message me, comment below. The next event, guys, is going to be the Texas Children Houston Open, and that's March 28th through the 31st. So that's actually kicking off today. And then you got the Valero Texas Open, and that's April 4th through the 7th. All right, because that's all we got to get through, guys. And then it's time for the Masters, April 11th through the 14th. Don't forget, order your Masters meal pack. I'm going to probably go back over that maybe again one more time, maybe not. See, if you're a follower, you got to hear about it, and you went and you pre-ordered. Okay, you got your cheese, your chips, all your drink cup holders, everything that have all the Masters logos on it. Your little cookies. Did you get a chocolate chip cookie, bud? Did you get one? Okay, you can put a little milk in your Masters cup. Anyway, order that today. See if you can get you one. They're probably sold out, I would guarantee it. If you want to look into any of this live golf stuff that's coming up, maybe watch a round of it right before the Masters, considering it's John Rahm's dinner, and, it's going to be Rambo steak dinner. We're going to go over his menu on the next episode, because I just can't wait to see it. I know it's out, but I just can't wait to dissect it and go over it with you guys and really see what this dude's going to get into. And the next event's in Miami, right? So it's right up the street from the Masters, or right down the street. Okay. And that's April 5th through the 7th. And that's Doral, Miami at Trump National. And a lot of them dudes are going to be going over to the Masters right after that. So that tournament ends on the 7th, right? And then the Masters kicks off the 11th. But that Monday, right, is when all the it's a whole week of Masters. So they're all going to be in the mix, and it'll be, this and that. And your boy Tiger, he'll be chopping it up with Rory. And, like I said, we might see a fight out there this year. The first ever fight on a PGA course. Could you imagine, dude? That'd be fucking wild. Is that the first fight? Have the pros ever fought way back in the day? I wonder if they did. I'm going to look that up. How many professional golfers have got into a fight during a PGA round? We're going to look into that. That's a great thing. Good news for all you wiener lovers. 7-Eleven is going to release spicy hot dog flavored seltzer. Just in case you can't stop thinking wiener. Could you imagine the spicy bite flavored seltzer, dude? That's fucking disgusting. That's like saying, get yourself a pot, okay? Boil a shitload of hot dogs. Boil a shitload of hot dogs, dude. Okay? Pull the hot dogs out. Strain that water into a jug. And then fill the rest of the jug up with club soda. So it kind of like carbonates it. And then pour you a big old glass of that. And just have wiener water on the rocks. That's fucking disgusting, dude. I hope it's like one of those AI gag things, but from what I was reading into, it's not. And I guess the sororities are trying to pre-order cases and cases and cases of this shit to the colleges. So they want their wiener water bad, dude. Speaking of wiener water, MGA News, guys, this segment is brought to you by the Bogies for Breakfast show. Okay, YouTube, Spotify, check them out. You can get all your Orange County and mediocre golf content on there. They're great guys. They talk all about the mediocre golf and the stuff that goes on in different events and shit that happens. Shout out to the show, guys. Great stuff. Keep it up. Big fans of our show. Huge fans of their show. That's how it works, guys. The next event is going to be the Bastards 2024, okay? It's at Eagle Glen, and the place is groomed pretty tight right now. All right, I got a source that's saying the Eagle Glen's looking like PGA material. All right? It's down and tight, guys. It's looking fucking clean, ready to go, and that's April 13th at 9 a.m. is the first tee time, dude. It's a bitchin' course. I'm going to be playing it actually for a special event coming up on Friday the 5th. And Friday the 5th, we'll be playing there with a couple buddies for a very, very special event. And we'll get more into it next week before we play. So shout out to that whole adventure. I'm excited for the next tournament here, guys. Eagle Glen, it's a difficult course, but it's a very viewsome course. You can see a lot. You're up in the hills. You can see the whole valley, and I'm praying we get good weather because it's been like raining every weekend. Somehow it knows to rain on the weekend. Perfect example, it's Easter weekend coming up. We typically have a pretty big Easter party for the family, barbecue, the whole bit. There's been years where it's so hot we have to set up shade tarps and like the kids have swam and shit. Rain this year, it's canceled. Doo-doo. We're canceling it, so we'll just end up doing something small Sunday at Mom's house, you know. And it is what it is, guys. When it rains, it pours, and then all of a sudden it's hot as hell, mosquitoes everywhere. And, we'll be like, fuck, we're sick of it being hot. We need rain. What kind of ball are we using out there? Okay, I like this softer shell ball. I like the outer coating to have that softer feel. Something that's going to grip the green and roll back maybe a little bit. Actually, for me, since I don't get a lot of spin on my ball when I hit into the green, the harder shell ball just seems to skate. And I mean, it shoots past, where I feel like this one has more of a thud, like a dead hit, and it'll like land and kind of just, stay in place a little bit better. I like the way it feels off the driver. Again, I feel like the real hard ball, like a super fast, or even like the real shiny shell, like even like a Pro V1 and some of those, like the Velocity, I seem to slice it a lot. I seem to hit it, and it just, I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's me, and I get it. I'm not blaming the golf ball, but I've had a better result with the soft shell ball. So some guys like hard tacos, some guys like soft tacos. I'm kind of like right in the middle. Like one side of the taco's a soft shell, the other side's a hard shell, dude. That'd be pretty cool, huh? That's kind of like, what is it, the Crunch Wrap Supreme, kind of, right, at Taco Bell? So anyway, get yourself some of these softer balls. Some guys don't even probably pay any mind to it and just go for their bang for their buck, which I totally get. I'm not good enough at golf for every little tip and trick to work for me. But definitely the softer shell ball. As a matter of fact, my favorite ball to this day, since I've started 3 years of golf, is the divide ball. I love the divide ball, dude. I hit my eagle with the divide ball, bro. Huh? I got that thing. I filled it out, dude. Hole 16, Costa Mesa, this day, eagle, bro. And it's up in my shelf in my golf trophy case, dude. This badass case. And there's one fucking thing in there, and it's a ball. A divide ball, dude. Okay? Hey, you know what? The trophy case is like the mental dream, and now you just got to go pursue your dream. And it's like you put something in the trophy case to represent, like, look at this. I'm fulfilling my dream. Physically, look at, I have medals to show that I'm fulfilling my dream, my quest here, okay? Imagine, like, you know, some of you guys have been married a long time. I get it. And some of you guys struggle with it. So imagine if your wife could give you like a little good job, buddy. You know, like here's a 10 millimeter back. I know how valuable these are to you, honey. Good job. Good job mopping today. Get the... all right, guys, moving on. We don't want to get too crazy. All right, the new bag coming in. Apparently, I got a call yesterday that I'm getting a new bag. I wanted a new bag. My younger sister says, hey, I found you this Saints bag. It's badass. You got to have it. I'm going to send it your way. And I'm like, all right, if this thing shows up and it is what she says it is and all that, I'm rocking it, dude. I'm getting ready. I'll probably wait, and I won't run it till NFL kickoff, you know, like maybe preseason kickoff or whatever. I'll start running it. So I'm going to pull my Saints head covers off that she had got me and save those as well so that I can just do like a big unveiling. So that way, if even we only win 2 games this year, I'll be winning. Okay, I'll be winning. Who dat? See, I'm so ready for football, dude. I mean, I love my NBA segment stuff. I do, but I'm ready for some football, and I'm not ready for USFL, but I probably will watch it. So let's see if that gives the Saints any luck this year going with the new Saints bag. What's your dream location to go visit? Somebody asked me, and it's like, well, I don't know, dude, but that's a great thing to throw on the show. I'm thinking, you know, besides tropical or vacation-y, like just somewhere to go visit, I would like to go somewhere very interesting. I'd like to go, you know, probably to Egypt and go see the pyramids of Giza, right? And just go check all that out. I'm so over fascinated with all that. And then now I've heard so fucking much about it on Joe Rogan and the guys he has on there, and it's just like, dude, I got to get over there, bro. But, you know, I just don't know. My big white ass would stand out like a polar bear on a black backdrop. So we'll see if we ever make it over to there. Where do you guys want to go? Comment below. Where do you guys want to go? Where's your dream place to go? It could be somewhere simple, dude. I know people right here in my city who have never been to the beach. I know people right here in my city who have never been to the beach, dude, okay? On a clear enough fucking day, you go on my roof, you look, you might even see a little something. No, we're not that close. But you know what I mean? It's only, 30 miles from here? They've never been. No, we've just never been. Okay, well, guess what? Guess you're not going to Egypt either then, are you? Maybe. Imagine they've been to Egypt, but they've never been to the beach. All right, Tim, it's going to be time. Because a lot of these guys, their dream is to just go to the Amazon forest and eat monkey leg, it says here. So be ready for that, guys. One last thing real quick up here, because I was posting about it pretty good on the page if you were following along, but I want to touch on it because we got some cool stuff coming up with March Madness. Today they're kicking off the Sweet 16, guys. All right, so the last 16 teams are going to work their way into the Elite 8, which will start on the 30th. That's a 2-day event, which will taper down the Final Four. All right, so the Final Four from all the North, East, South, West will gather on the 6th, and they will battle each other out until there's 2 teams left, and that'll be the National Championship on Monday, April 8th. You're going to want to watch that, guys, right now. All right, we've got some really, really good teams. Tennessee, Creighton, Gonzaga and Purdue, Marquette, North Carolina State. You got Duke and Houston battling it out. You got UConn, San Diego today. You got Illinois, Iowa, North Carolina, Alabama, and Clemson, Arizona, all working their way to the national championship. A lot of followers watching number 1 North Carolina, guys. I see an upset in here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I personally, I hope Purdue goes all the way. They're number 1 in their region, but I like Purdue, dude. That's where Drew Brees went. See? So there's a connection there. It's like I have family that went to Purdue. So go on right here. I'm on NCAA March Madness website, and you could pull their bracket right up. And you can see how all the teams got to where they are, and then as soon as things finish, boom, 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 they'll start filling in, and you can watch it. And I recommend you watch the national championship, even if you didn't watch any of the other games. That's coming up on Monday, April 8th, and there's usually not a whole lot else going on that day anyway, guys. So if you're gonna sit around, eat hot wings, maybe drink some beer, kick the old TV on there, bud. Okay, get the rabbit ears, a new thing of foil on each antenna, one slightly north, one a little south. Boop, NCAA. There it is, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope it was a decent episode. We're trying to keep the energy alive. We got a lot of stuff coming up that we want to talk about and show you. And finally, a guest, getting them locked in. It's time, all right? A lot of you guys are ready. Big Ham, okay? You're ready to come on the show. I know you're getting ready to go to Scotland. We got Aaron over at DNG, okay? We got Aaron over at DNG. He's ready to come on, right? Jamie, okay? Jamie, dude, Horsetown, USA, bro. You ready to come on? So, all right, guys, shout out. Stay safe out there. We'll see you guys soon. We got to go get some work done. Thanks.